So, Chris, I want to check out some guitars, man.
Okay.
Walk me over here. Show me what you got.
All right, well, let's start with, let's see here. We got the Hollow Body 2 PRS, which I use for the acoustic, the piezo. And then you can switch it to just piezo acoustic, and then you got a blend. You can blend right there between the guitar and the piezo, and then that's all guitar. So it's awesome. What I do is I usually leave my pedal in a certain position, and I switch back and forth with this micro switch, which is kind of a pain, but it's my thing, so I dig it. So that's my pedal, that little switch right there when I use this guitar.
The cool thing is that you've got a thing, so yeah. I'm digging it.
Yeah, I love it, man. And these things sound incredible. They're works of art, each one of them, even the production ones. Sure. And then let's see. This is a new hollow body single cut that I just got with the new birds, actually. Which is a new thing that.
Beautiful.
But they're drawing a line in the sand with these new birds. So when you see a guitar with the new birds on it, you know that sounds supposedly. That's the way they're thinking, that it's a better guitar than the ones they were making before. But they just want to be able to differentiate. Sure. So when you see it, you're like, oh, that's one of those. This is one of these. That's why they're doing it. And then these. Whoops. This is my signature PRS single cut, and this is one that was made for me. The print is from National Guard Army camouflage, which is classified. So I had to get clearance from basically the Pentagon to use this. Believe it or not.
You went the mile for our boys.
I did. You know, and all I did is ask somebody, and then somebody else did the legwork. But I had to wait 3 months to get, and the Army had to say, yes, you can make this guitar. This is supposedly the real deal. So
that's totally cool. What do you got? What do you got rocking for pups here?
7 bass and 7 treble, and this is a Tremonti, which is the PRS hot version of the same pickup that Mark Tremonti uses in his guitar. They smoke, and I've been using them for years. And then this pull pot right here activates this middle pickup, and this guitar can sound like a single cut Les Paul, rip your fucking face off tone, right on. And then right there you can make it sound like an old Telly. You can crank it back just a little bit, and it's very versatile. You can do so many different things with it. It's really an exquisite instrument. It really is.
Can you flip it over so we can check out the back too? I saw something peeking out, so it looks like a nice piece.
It's that's beautiful, and they build them for us, which makes them even cooler. In my book,
heavy, light.
It's about 9 pounds. It's a little on the heavy side, but some of the what I found about PRS is the heavier the better. With Les Pauls, not so true.
Not so good.
Yeah, but with PRSs, the heavier, they're okay. You know what I mean? I've never picked up one that didn't sound good. Mine.
9 pounds is,
It's in there. It's a little on the heavy. 8.5 is where I want to be.
That's perfect, but I grew up with a 13.5-pound custom. You know what I mean?
So I got a custom that I got it hanging on the wall of my house. I got to go back and fucking rehang it every 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's pulling the drywall down and.
Actually, the house is tilting a little bit. It weighs like 150 million pounds.
Buzz through a couple more really quick.
All right. Let's see. Well, these are all signatures. This is let's see. Oh yeah, the new one. I'm a Saints fan. So I got the Saints gold top here, rocking this thing. And this is a signature as well. So it's got the pull pot, and this guitar with the brass tailpiece here, and also if you look at the machine heads, they're brass as well. It gives it a nice tinny kind of metal sound.
It's got that pang.
It's got it, and that's what this guitar is for. It's for those songs. So each one of these guitars is a little different. Yeah. When I go in the studio, I take this one.
Got it.
And also we'll take. Where's it at? Right here. This is the first one, the prototype. So that's actually was used on everything. So yeah. So this is the prototype, the very first one they ever built for me, and it smokes. Really smokes.
It's been with you for a while.
I've had it for about 7 years.
So obviously I'm digging the single. What guitar are you playing on Not My Time?
I'm actually playing the piezo single cut because I used the piezo for the intro
and the clean stuff. Yeah.
Right, and the clean stuff, and then also you need a heavy tone too. So, and that's the thing about our music is we'll switch tones like that, and we're a tone band. We'll spend hours getting tones in the studio, and thank God I got some good gear that we can do that with.
Here's a question: everybody kind of has a different way they roll when they go into the studio, and they start auditioning amps or going for tones and stacking their sounds. I mean, some guys will hook up a Radial J87 and, audition a bunch of amps, blend at one time, find 3 amps to make one sound. Or, I mean, what's your approach? How do you go for it?
What I typically do is I already know before I get there what I'm looking for and what head I want to use, what guitar I want to use. And I'll go ahead and I'll lay it down a track and just record it and leave it in there. And then I'll unplug that amp do another one, lay another track down, and I get another guitar, and I'll sit and I'll play with it for 2-3 hours, and sit and then go back and listen to each one and audition the tones in the studio. Be like, that's what I'm looking for. That's the cut. That's, you know what I mean. And then I typically don't stack too much.
You keep it stripped down.
Yeah, if you listen to our records, it's wood and gear. Yeah. And that's what we're all about.
You don't want to cover it up by getting too 3D and too wide and losing the detail and all that.
Don't do tons of effects. Let Matt do that. He's the effect guy. I'm the wood guy. I love the guitar and the cable and the head and the power out of the wall, and that's what I like.
Well, the first thing I caught about the rig is like, damn, it's a pro rig. I mean, you can tell. I mean, you guys did a fine job here. And the fact that he's like A-being between these two big bad boy monster racks, like, I'm excited, I'm all about that. But you can really tell that there's a purity, and it's all about, like, a really direct signal. There's not a lot of shit. There's not a lot of effects stacked up.
Just for anybody who's a non-musician, technically, this one head is where he's getting his main tone for his distortion. This is his main tone for his clean. That's really all it is. Now, technically, that is, with the exception of a wireless and a good power conditioner. That's pretty much it. Those are just mirrored backups of the same thing. So it looks a lot prettier than it would seem to be, but it's awesome.
In between, while you're building them, the idea is you want to use as little cable as possible.
Right.
So everything is custom measured and cut to length. Signal doesn't have to go out on stage to switch to A/B switch. We've got a remote switch where there's actually a solenoid in the back of the rack. That does the switching. You've only got maybe 1.5 feet of cable in there.
Well, here's a question. The wireless versus cable, obviously these guys are rocking big stages, and, you got to be free. You got to be able to move. You got to be able to work it and hang with the crowd. Would you be doing, and long cable runs can sometimes be a pain in the ass, but I can tell you're the kind of guy that's all about the guitar, the chord, the amp,
right,
and no fucking around. Would you be using cable run, doing a long cable run, or, thoughts on that?
I probably would if I wasn't using this switcher, the kind of switcher that we're using, because there's no audio on the stage at all. Usually, a lot of guys, when they use AB, you got to run audio like 150 foot out to the deck, and then run audio 150 foot back, which is just like having a shitty wireless. You know what I mean? So we take the audio off the stage, and it allows us to have great tone with a wireless.
And then one last quick question. I know we got a band coming on. What kind of cable are you guys using on the interior?
We've got monster cable.
All monster. All right. Well, hey, man, I'm Brett with Chris Henderson. Gentlemen, the men behind the rigs. You're watching PremierGuitar.com.